Well, Steve Art's 89. Well, Will Smith is on the promotion circuit. He's released this film called Emancipation, and I think we thought it was cancelled after the Oscar slap heard around the world. But no, they still released the film, and he's trying to promote it. And of course, he has to address the issue. He goes on Trevor Noah, and I love Trevor Noah even more now that he's doing the natural hair thing. He's so cute. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't see the whole interview. I kind of didn't get past him crying. I hadn't seen the Oscars for a while, and I realised it was on, and I'd missed a bunch of it, and I sat down about 30 seconds before the slap. And I just saw it live, and then the channel cut it off and everything. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I felt kind of traumatized by the whole thing, and I kind of resented Will for that. It's like, why would you do that to the Oscars? Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that at all? What's wrong with you? And then all the stories about him being a cuck and all this, and all the stories of his wife, and I did some research to see if that was true, and I'm like, no, it's not true. And they had a very specific situation happening, and it wasn't the one-sided open marriage that people are attacking him for and calling him a cuck and everything, or whatever you C-U-C-K, I think is how it's spelled. Yes, it's a bit cringy. Basically, it's like, well, I had to explain to my nephew why I did it, and he does somehow manage to make himself the victim when Will Smith and the audience were the victims. Did I just say Will Smith? Chris Rock and the viewers were the victims, not Will Smith. But he's convinced us that he is. And I'm not trying to get on him for masculinity issues. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I don't have an issue with him generally crying, or any man crying, but it just felt kind of fake. It felt like I have to promote this film, and I have to do this, and I have to, and there's no pushback from Noah really, which is not a surprise, but I don't know, he just, I still feel like he's making excuses like, well, hurt people. I was going through stuff, and when you bottle stuff up, it just comes out in other places. I'm like, it's still not okay. It's still not an excuse. It might be an explanation. But, yeah, I just found the whole thing awkward, and I feel like he needs to be really real about it or just ignore it. Sort of half addressing it, I don't think that really works. I feel like that's sort of what he did by going for the sympathy vote and not really being real about it, which I didn't think he was. He was kind of, I don't know, it was a mess. But I just had to comment on that because I did a video at the time, I did a video afterwards, and there was a little bit of talk about it here and there, and I didn't really cover it. I'm not a journalist, so I just sort of was like, nah, I'm kind of done with Will, and I've been done with Will twice now. The first time I was done with him was when he slapped a reporter. And I totally tell him, this guy tried to do like I think the Italian kiss on both sides of the face or something after an interview or something, and he slapped him. And I thought, wow, this man is so insecure and homophobic. This is the same man who wouldn't do the kiss in a film where he's supposed to be playing a gay character. He made them frame it a certain way so he didn't actually have to kiss the actor, so he could say, well, it looks like it, but I didn't actually, because he was that insecure at the time. And finding out later that he got the actress who played his mother on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who was awesome, fired because she criticised his lack of acting ability, which he didn't have when he started the show. He wasn't an actor when he started. He was a rapper, and he was popular, and he was given a show because that's what happens in commercial Hollywood that doesn't care about art. And you have these actual artists who've been acting their whole lives, dealing with someone who, is just a star who doesn't know anything. And so he fired her for criticism. He got her fired over criticism. And the person they brought in was totally changed the character, changed the dynamic of the show, probably ended the show, because after that it just lost a huge thing. So I lost a bit of respect for him with that. And I didn't know at the time that the reporter that he slapped was actually this guy who goes around pranking people, and he was pretending to be a reporter, and he did actually try to kiss Will, and he wanted a reaction from Will. He gave it to him because he's an insecure man, and insecure men, strike out when their, fragile masculinity, their toxic masculinity is challenged, because it's this fake construct that is very easily challenged and toppled and destroyed. So the men that you find usually causing the most problem in the world and the most destruction in the world are the most masculine alpha males who really are just scared and they have to put that front up. And he's one of those guys. So he's kind of cancelled with me. I can't imagine ever seeing a film that he's in again. I've seen all the good ones, because when I realised that that fake reporter was pranking him, I felt bad. So I went back and watched all the Will Smith films I hadn't watched because I'd turned on him back then. And then he did this and like, no, I'm done with you, Will. You'd have to do a film I'm really personally interested in for me to actually watch another film of yours again. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I just had to say something about that because it was bothering me. But yeah, I don't think he was sincere in his interview, and I don't feel like we've really gotten the honest explanation for what happened, and I just don't care anymore. I'm fine without Will. I'll move on.